One, 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 one. Testing, testing, testing. One, 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 one. This is a mic check. Hopefully everyone can hear me properly. Hello, hello, hello. Now maybe you can also see me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining our next session of an online webinar. This time we will be talking about how to program a show in LED Strip Studio Software number 4. So that is the new edition of our popular mapping and content player software. Those of you who are interested and have seen the previous webinar, you might know that I promised that I will hold this webinar where I will show you in the new version of the software that you can see here, also not only how to do the mapping, but also how to create a show. Show is a great example of an effect where you can stack multiple layers, where you can have multiple different effects, video effects, strip effects, where you can have where you can set a opacity for an effect. So overall, this might be a nice addition to the library of effects that are available with our software. If you have any questions in regards to what I am doing, please let me know in the chat, and I will answer your questions as soon as possible. So. And I've left you a little note, a little message there. So please, if you will have any questions, let me know. You can see already that I have the new version of the software opened here. We've got a timeline here, our bank of effects, and in here we've got a preview. I also have a preview for the couple of pixel bars, profiled pixel bars. That is our new product that we are working with. You can see that on the little screen down here. So as I will be working with the effects, they will be displayed on the profiled pixel bars straight away. That way you can see what I am actually doing. Please, if you can, this is another mic check, if you can hear me properly, or if you cannot hear me properly, let me know so that I can adjust the volume, and yeah, hopefully this will be an interesting webinar. By the way, my name is Michal or Michael. I work here in LED Strip Studio for 7 years, 8 years. I am responsible for content. Also, I am doing the show programming for some of our projects, for some of our clients. And those range from TV studios, club owners, or we just recently did a installation on a food truck. So I do all this and much, much more. And I also do these webinars. So hopefully hopefully it will be an interesting here for you. Those of you who are interested to find out how to do the show programming in the LSS3, also let me know in the chat, and we can quickly jump into the third version of the software also, and I can show you how to do the show programming over there. The show that you've seen in the very first video that I've played you was also done in the LED Strip Studio software. So you can have really a lot of creativity. You can play with the effects in our software and place those on your LED pixels, whether it is LED pixel strips or our profiled pixel bars that you can see here. Hopefully you can see that properly. I rather than wanted to show the bars itself, I wanted to show you how awesome the colors look and how fluent the animations are. So yeah, you can see the colors, but you can't see the bars. But I think that it is for the better. I've got one more check that I want to do. When I play the show, you can hopefully hear the song that I have uploaded into my timeline. Please let me know also in the chat whether you can hear that properly, or whether I should tune the volume a little bit down or up. As I will be working with the timeline, I think that maybe it is too loud. As I will be working with the timeline, you will be able to hear what I am doing and where I am placing the effects, and yeah, that way hopefully you will understand better how I approach the programming of the pixel shows for our clients and how overall the system works. I can see that I've got a little effect here. I want to delete it. Okay, so we've got a clean slate. I don't want to do the mapping process because that I have covered in some of our previous videos. Maybe the next webinar can be about this topic, how to do the mapping in the new version of the software. But right now I don't really want to spend time on it. I can just show you very quickly how does the mapping look. Let's position this so that you can actually see it. Yeah, so pretty simple. I've got the mapping done here for the 20 pixel bars that I have behind me. And as you can see, I've got, this is very much the same as in LSS3. So I've got the list of my strips assigned to individual outputs where I have set what is the pixel strip type or IC type. We are using our custom for profiled pixel bars, custom IC or custom protocol. That's why it says LSS strip 2 RGB. So I've got my strips assigned to outputs, assigned as they are. So you can see the signal flow here, and that is exactly how the individual bars are installed behind me. So yeah, this is the mapping. Pretty straightforward, right? No curves, no bent segments. It's just lines. What is more interesting is my timeline down here, where I have already uploaded a music file. And you can freely zoom in and out on the timeline, and that way you can see precisely where the beats are in the music or in the audio that you are going to work with. So you can just take your effect and place it onto one of the layers that you can stack multiple on in the software. You can place it straight on the beat or directly on the beat, and that way it will be played when you want the effect, I mean. The process of how you can upload your own music file onto the timeline is super easy. You can go down here where it says open music file. You will locate the audio file on your PC, and then you will just hit open. If it will be an MP3, then the software will automatically convert it to WAV format, which is the format that the software can actually work with. So if you would have an MP3 here, the software will create in the same directory a copy of the file in a different format, so WAV, not MP3. Once you will open it, it will upload it, and it will display the waveform on your timeline, and you are ready to go. If you, for any reason, want to have multiple shows in your project, there is nothing easier. You will just hit add another show. If you would have 20 shows here, it's probably a good idea to rename your show, so that way it will be more organized. So and of course you can have multiple audio files, multiple songs in different shows. So you can program 10 shows with 10 different audio files, and you can play them one by one in a sequence if you need to. We can also rename this one. So that way we have everything properly organized. I have created a bunch of effects here already in 2 banks. Whenever I am working with like a client who wants to program a show, I always have like 5-6 banks with different names, with a lot of effects that I then place directly onto my timeline. I try to keep it somehow organized. I will show you a few tricks how you can organize the effect creation in the strip scene, where you can create groups of individual segments, and that way you don't have to select them one by one, but you will just select a group and place your effect on those segments in a group. We can bring back the preview. There it is. So as you can see, I've played my first effect from the bank, and it's displayed also on the pixel strips. There is a fade duration set up now, which I will just turn down, so that way when I switch between the effects, the change is instant. By the way, this you can do in the live settings. So if I don't want the effects from the bank to fade between each other, but I want a straightforward cut, I will just tune down the fade duration and the effects will cut, which is what I want for now. If you want to create an effect, you will go into scenes. There you have two types of effects that you can create, a strip scene or a video scene. For the strip scenes, I've already told you that you can create your groups, selection groups. As you can see, I've already created one in this project where I have selected these segments, these profiled bars, that I have then added into a group, and whenever I want to place an animation from the animation library, I will just select a group and then place an effect. And I can then switch between those. So super convenient if you don't want to do this process every time that you create a strip scene. You will select a couple of effects, a couple of segments. You will add them to a group. And then just place your animation on top of those. If you have a bunch of effects created, then you can start to place them onto your timeline. The process is super easy. It's simple drag and drop. So I can take my first effect and place it onto my timeline. As you can see, now the effect is exactly 1 second long, or the duration of the effect is 1 second. If you want an effect that will be slower, then you can increase the duration of the effect. So I can go back, select my group, place an effect on top of it, and then in settings I can say, okay, I don't want this to be 1 second, I want this to be 5 seconds. Or 3 seconds. If we will close this now and place the effect onto a timeline at the very beginning, then you can see that my new effect is exactly 3 seconds long. This is one way how you can adjust the duration of the effect on the timeline. Another option is to take this little handle here, this little arrow, and stretch the effect to the duration that you want. So I want it to play for 6 seconds. Maybe we can turn the audio scrubbing off now, so that you don't hear whenever I move with the slider on the timeline. But we will turn it back on. So now my effect, if I will play it, will be 6 seconds. So this is my first version, and you can see already on the pixel bars that the effect is very quick compared to this one. If you want an effect that is in default, or that you've created that lasts for 1 second, and you want to play it over a duration of 6 seconds, but 6 times, you have to work with graphs. And graphs are, or is, a new function in the software or in the show programming where I can stretch my effect. You can notice already that my effect that was previously 1 second long, I have stretched it to 4 seconds. That now my effect will play 1 time over the course of the 4 seconds. But I want that 1 second effect to play 4 times. I will open a graph. So right click, open graph, and there I will go to phase. Here we've got a repeat function, and I will simply increase it to 4 times. So now it's my original 1 second effect played 4 times over the course of 4 seconds. I can then go on with adjusting the size on the timeline, so I can make it longer or shorter, and you can see that graph is changed accordingly as I am stretching. Oh, thanks for the note. I just read the message on YouTube that the music is very low. We can increase the volume. Thanks. We will definitely do that. So this is a very nice function, very new function, the graph, I mean, where you can simply, in the graph, tell I want to repeat my effect over the course, or I want to repeat my 1 second effect over the course of 4 times, for example. And it will be then played 4 times. If you want an effect to play 4 times, but over that course of 4 seconds, you want the effect to fade out, the brightness, and then go back in, so fade in, fade out, you can do that also in the graph, in the alpha section, where we can tell, I want my effect to go up, the brightness, I mean, or the opacity, stay for 100% brightness for some time, and then fade out. And that you can also see on the bars, or you can see that on the bars and also in the preview. So this way you can, in the graph, or with the graph function, you can change how many times the effect is repeating, and also you can change the opacity, or the opacity over time of your effect, over the duration of your effect. And I can have multiple points, so the brightness will go up and down and up and down. And this will, of course, adjust as I am increasing, or as I am stretching the effect on the timeline. What is great, once you have the opacity lowered for one effect in one layer, you can then add another layer, and that layer you will be able to see that layer. We can take our so during that you can during the play, as the brightness is decreasing, we need a video effect, sorry for that. I've got another one here. So watch the segments in the middle. I will play the effect, and you can see that until the brightness goes to the very bottom, and then again you can see the effect. We can stretch this out as the graph function for the brightness is going up. So this way you can stack in the show multiple effects and you can see multiple effects. So you can increase or decrease the opacity of individual effects in individual layers. If you want to add multiple points, either for phase or for alpha, it's a simple double click. You can see it as I am moving with the keyframe, also the animation is played. So that way you can know precisely where you are in the effect, and you can precisely stack more effects. So it is moving. Watch the playhead here as I am moving with the keyframe. Oh, it's also moving with the playhead. If you want some fancy stuff, you can change the curve between the keyframes, not to be linear, but you can change it to be curved. And again, you can achieve this if you will right-click on the keyframe and you will select not line but curve. And same you can do in phase. We can bring back the music. So again, the process is open a music file. Let's double check if you can see that. Yes. You will pick your song. The software will ask, do you want to convert it? Because it's not in the format that is supported. You will click yes, I want to change it. You can zoom in and out all the way so that you can see the whole song. Or if you are programming, then you want to zoom in, and that way you can see precisely where the beats are. I've increased the volume a bit, so hopefully you can hear it. Maybe I can go a little more up. What you can hear, because I have already hit the stop, much better. Perfect. What you can hear as I am moving with the playhead, it's a little sample that is played wherever you place the playhead. So that way you can hear, it's like 1 or 2 seconds of the audio that you want to place the effects on. And also the audio scrubbing is working as you are moving with the playhead along the timeline. I can take my first effect again, and I want very short blinks. And I want to multiply this effect and place it onto every beat. So I can copy the effect, so Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and place it where I want. Obviously, this would take too much time if you would do this one by one. So I can take multiple effects, copy and paste them. This is obviously a simple effect. I want to have something that will go in the background. So I can, from my first bank, select this effect and place it on top. Since this effect is on top, it will cover everything that is below. Previously, in LSS3, the layers that were at the bottom were covering those that are above it. Now in the LSS4, you can change these settings in the software settings, where you can tick prioritize top layers. So now the top layer is covering the one that is beneath it. So I can take this and move it on a layer that is above it. If I need to add, and this is like with any video editing software, if I want to add a new layer, you can simply right-click on any layer, and you can insert a track either above or below it, right? So we can insert a track below my third layer, or my third layer. And we can place another effect if we want down here. We will zoom in. Maybe even a bit more. And we will copy it as a group. Once we will get out of this little intro, the song starts to be a bit more interesting, I would say. Where you can place, again, another effects, or more effects if you want. You can have a little markers. So I know that I will go back into the programming for this part later on, but I want to start with a new section, or I want to mark a specific point on my timeline. So I can, I can right click onto the timeline here, and it will create a marker. And that way I know, okay, I want to go back to this part because I've left a marker here. Since this is an interesting part of the song, I want to place an effect where the brightness will gradually fade in. So it will increase the brightness from total darkness to full. So we can open again, and we can change the graph for the alpha, for the opacity. You can already see, well, you can't, but because the preview is, I'll show you again. You can see in the preview the effect playing, even though the opacity is lowered, but check the preview where you can see actually what is going out onto the outputs, onto the profiled bars. So you can see the preview here for the video, but in here you can see the actual values for the brightness. Of course, you can create your own effects, your own video effects. So let's do that. We can add a new video scene. If I will right-click on that scene, it will open this window where you can add your layers and whether you can pick from the library, and you can adjust different aspects for the effect. So I can add a new layer. This is displayed on my segments straight away as I am tinkering with the effect, as I am playing with it. We can bring back the preview. Yeah, so you can see the effect playing behind me. Maybe I've already showcased this. You can change the flow of your effect, of your linear gradient. And you can also change how many times it's repeating. So this is also a new feature, or an older feature redesigned, where you have this handle for the linear gradient straight in the preview or directly in the preview. And that way we think that it's better visible and you can have much more fun with it. Obviously you can change the gradients as you want. From the library you can select an effect that you like. I like this one. But I want to do a little adjustment for it, just for this effect. So I will click on this button, and this is an adjustment just for the layer that you are working with, just for that color effect. Because you can have multiple layers. I can show you. You can have multiple layers. So one video effect is playing only on this portion of my LED bars, and another effect is playing on the second part, on the second portion. If I want to adjust, for example, brightness for both, I will do that for the in the adjustments for the whole video scene. But if I want to adjust only brightness for this particular layer, so one color effect, I will click here on adjustments and bring down the brightness. And I can again drag and drop my effect onto a timeline, stretch it out. You can place all the video scene onto a timeline, a strip scene onto a timeline, and also a multi-effect or multi-scene. And what is a multi-scene? Whenever you want to combine strip scene and video effect scene, you will use a multi-scene, where you can mix multiple effects. So I've got a strip scene here and a video effect. Now this is I've explained previously that in the software now you can change the priority of the layers. So my top layer is covering one that is beneath it, that is applied not in the timeline, but not only in the timeline, but also whenever you are working and wherever you are working with layers stacked on top of each other. So now you can see that my strip effect, these segments are in red, and the video scene is playing on all of the remaining pixels or the remaining effects. So this is a multi-scene where you can combine strip and video scenes, and those you can also place onto your timeline. The show, if you want to impress your client, you can, as with the video effects or as with strip scenes, you can render a preview or you can render a video from the preview and then you can send it to your client. With the mapping, let's say they've got a building, you've done the mapping, you've used a Google Street View photo, you've done the mapping on their building and you've done a little show or a short show and you want to share it with your client, you can do the export of the effect or of the show in tools section of the software, where you will simply click on render a video from my show. You will select where you want to place it or where you want to save it, how many times you want to repeat it. The video will have the audio in it, so if you are working on a show synced with music, then the file will also have the audio, so you can send it to your client with the audio, and also it will have the background that you are working with, that you are using to draw your lines as they are in real space, in real life. So it will have audio and also the background, so that way your client will have a more precise idea of what you are doing and how their building, for example, might look. We want to copy this. Of course, if you need to adjust the placement, you can do it either in groups or one by one. If you want to stretch your animations on the timeline, all of your animations, you've got this little handle here, this little arrow, where you can stretch your effects. Obviously the timing will be off, but there is this option where you can stretch everything on the timeline all at once, which might be handy in some cases, in some projects perhaps. I've shown you how to export the preview or how to render the video for your client, so that way you can send it. Obviously, if you have more shows, you can render them one by one and then send it over or upload to YouTube. A show is not only, or maybe a little bit of context first, what we are using the show function for in LED Strip Studio. We are using it for music synchronized LED dance shows. So we've got dancers with LED costumes, they are dancing, and there's music playing, and we precisely programmed the effects to the beats, and overall it's very nice. It's very nice performances. So find Tron Event Agency. That is what we are using the show programming function for. But you can also export it as a single effect and then play it from an SD card. All of our devices, that is LEC3 SPI matrix, reactive or small SPI LED controller, they've got a slot for an SD card, and this is great for any standalone applications, for any standalone projects. Where you don't have the PC running, you can't play the show, but you still want to play the effect. So you can export the show, place it onto an SD card, and then play it from your controller. How you can do that? You can go into in Tools, into the Export feature, Export function, where we will turn this off. Where you can export individual effects, individual scenes, whether it's multi-scene, video scene, or a strip scene, by simply drag and dropping it onto a free slot or the slot that you want, and then you will hit export and upload, and it will be uploaded over Ethernet to your device, to an SD card. So you can do this with the video scenes and color effects, video strip scenes, but you can do this also with shows. The music, there is no audio output on our devices, right? So the music won't be there. So you have to, if you really want the effects to be synced with music, you have to figure out a way how to sync your effects with audio. There are devices, there are producers, and you can purchase a device that can trigger your effect along with a music file. I think you can do this over either DMX or ArtNet or MIDI. So there are devices out there that you can use to simultaneously play the effect and also the music. But since our controllers don't have audio output, you can't play it. You can't play it from our devices. But if you want to play an effect or the show as an effect, you can simply drag and drop it onto a free slot in my SD card and then hit export LN2. Okay, we can leave it on a desktop. If you want to upload it, you have to tick upload to my device. This is the device that I have set in the mapping. So if you will have multiple controllers here, multiple devices, you have to select one that you want to export the show to. But it's, yeah, since I have only one device here for my profile.pixel bars, this is super easy. I will just select this. And then we can open a web browser and access a web config for my device. You can see that the upload and export was finished. It seems that it was a success. So I can open my web config, bring the preview, and in the autoplay, if I will scroll to the animation that I have exported, you can see that it is playing from the SD card. So the whole show, the whole timeline, every effect that I have placed there will be now played as an effect from the SD card. Since this is the only option in the software how to stack multiple effects on top of each other and change the opacity for individual effects, this is a super important feature and great feature whenever you want to create such effects, the show I mean. So you want to stack multiple layers, multiple effects, you create a show, you change the opacity for individual layers and then export it onto an SD card. So super useful whenever you want to work with such effects. So this is how you can export it. I've shown you how to program the show. Are there any questions in regards to how to program the show and how to maybe export it? Maybe there is a function that I did not show you. So now is the time. Now is the time to ask. The show itself can be, as you can see, very long, right? So if you have a client and they want an effect to play for 8 hours straight, this is a standalone application, obviously, then you can create a show with a single or multiple effects, up to you or up to your client, and you can create a show that will have 8 hours. During that course, there will be 3 effects, 3 very long effects, and you can export that effect and play it from an SD card. So another great feature whenever a client requires a very long show, but they don't want an effect, a pre-programmed effect from the library to be playing, or simply 16 effects in a playlist is not good enough, or client wants something else. Basically, there can be a number of reasons. So the show itself can be very long, and you can export very long effect and play it from an SD card if you want. Or as you've seen in the in the video that I have played at the beginning, you can program a show on a stage with our software. Sky's the limit to the creativity. Hopefully this was interesting. If there are any questions, which it seems there are not, we are already 15 minutes into the presentation, into the webinar. So this will be, of course, available on YouTube afterwards, so you can check it out. If you will have any more questions in regards to the show, oh, sorry, by the way, very important, I almost forgot. I am not a Mac guy, but I've got an iMac here. Can we see that? The new version of the software is working also on Mac. All the functionalities are the same, all the features are the same. But I would destroy it if I would be working on on Mac during this webinar. But rest assured that the new version of the software is working on Mac. Currently there is no ArtNet output, so you can only work with LSS4, but we are also working on to add this feature into the new version of the software. So feel free to download it on our page in the download section, either for Mac or for Windows, and have fun with it, play with it, create your shows, create your renders for clients, and maybe one day you will be working on a paid project with our stuff. I can see that there is a message. I saw something with a mic out input, and you saw that where exactly? Probably not in our soft. Or, well, none of our devices has a mic input as of now. Obviously, we've got projects and we've got ideas where we will, because a lot of clients are requesting this function, where we will have probably some external board that you will be able to use to play the effects along with sound, along with audio. But as of now, we don't have any mic input on our devices or in our software, right? You can only play, or well, only, you can program a show to a song that you want. But currently there is no like a live effects to music or music to effects. There is no such function as of now. So maybe expand, but very quickly on the question. Yes, as I was saying, so this will be available on YouTube. You can check it out. Go to our page and download the software. I will quickly show you where you can do just that. So in the support section in downloads, once you will log in, you can find the previous version of the software, so LSS3, but also the new version available for Windows and for Mac. In future, might there be a possibility? There is another question on YouTube chat, or perhaps it's the same. In future, might there be a possibility to trigger scenes by external audio input? Hopefully there will be such option. And we are working on it, but it takes time and we only have a couple of developers here. But yes, this is a function that is requested a lot. Not by only you, but by different clients and users. So yeah, hopefully in the, how do you say it, foreseeable future, there will be such option with our devices and our software. But as of now, there is not. And by the way, here you can find in the download section, hopefully I answered, and sorry for the long wait. In this section, in the download section, you can find firmware user manuals for all of our products, and also the software and some nice use cases. So go create an account and download it, and maybe you will get an inspiration from some of the projects that we've done and that we've compiled into these PDFs that you can download and read. Maybe it will be an interesting 30 minutes of your life. Okay, I can see that you are again expanding on that question. So synchronization of programmed LSS effects, I assume, with real-time DJ. I would love to answer, but I don't know how. Like, we tested this. It was a failure with some Pioneer hardware. It does not mean that we won't continue and then we won't try again. If you have a specific use case that you want, send us an email and we can have a discussion about this. And I totally agree with you that clients are requesting this and asking for this. So once again, hopefully it will be an option, it will be a feature in the future. Hopefully I will be able to wrap this up. So if you have any questions, let us know on Instagram, on WhatsApp, send us an email or book a free consultation with us where either me or the other Michael will spend productive 15 minutes on a Zoom call with you, discussing your project and what we might contribute to it, whether it is a software or hardware or the whole solution, from planning to executing. I really think that that's it for this webinar. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the feedback. The software, as I've mentioned, is free to download. Go download it, play with it, and any additional feedback that you will provide will be greatly appreciated, because that is the most important thing that you can get from the clients or the users, the feedback. Thanks again for joining, and I will see you in 2 weeks in another webinar, and I will send out an invitation to it. And if you have any idea on what the topic might be, please also let me know. And don't forget, the new software is also available for Mac. That's it. Thank you again for joining, and have a good one. Bye. And enjoy again the video that we did, the little stage that we've built here. Thanks. Bye.